Bec, coaches, if anything, they're creatures of habit. Was it back to business straight away for you on Monday?
Yes, yeah, absolutely was. The build-up last week and everything, the moments in history, but now it's just all about the footy. So the girls came down really well. We recovered well on Monday night, and it was straight into talking about round 2, acknowledging that we played a good game of footy on Saturday, but it's been all about Friday night this week. Was
it just getting over the emotional hurdle of the first one? Because you can't imagine the same scenes after the second game. It'd sort of be, okay, now we're into our business.
Yeah, and that's it. And I think the nature of this short season is that we don't have time to sort of settle into things in terms of selection and everything like that. Normally you'd like to see players get a couple of games before you make any changes, but that's not the nature of this competition. We've got to switch back onto it straight away, talk about what we need to improve for round 2, and that's what we did.
Obviously, great win first up at home against the Giants. This is another challenge altogether. Bulldogs are flag favourites and you're on the road for the first time. How does that change the dynamics?
It does change the dynamics in the way that you sort of, as coaches, we've looked at this week about what we want to do. I think the big thing is, though, that we can't overwhelm the girls with loads of opposition analysis. They need to just get a few key points that are really simple without looking at heaps and heaps of tape. This week, all the players started looking at their statistics and getting feedback from everyone around them. It was really important to ground them because to us, and to me especially, statistics are like a light pole to a drunk person. You know, they're there to help you stand up. They're not going to illuminate your life. So we just had to keep them down, look at the simple things that we want to do this week, but make it about us. This is about us. This is about us travelling well, about us playing our kind of footy and hopefully coming away with a good result.
You say that, but the Bulldogs are flag favourites, so do you worry about the opposition too much? Or as you said, is it more about what you do?
Yeah, it's more about what we do, and I think that's the development nature of this competition. Is that had we had a group that had been together for a few years and been training for, had a full pre-season, all of those kinds of things, it would be different. You'd approach things a little bit differently. You'd have more time to do footy education. You'd have more time to spend on skills, all of those things. If we get bogged down by spending half the week worrying about what the opposition is doing, we're going to be in trouble. We respect the Bulldogs. They're a very good team. They played really great footy on the weekend, and we hope that we're able to put a good contest to them this Friday night.
Does it respect but don't fear? Well, is that?
I think fear's it's a big word in football. We want to go in with an optimistic mindset. We talk about striking first in all of the games that we've played, and the way we want to attack. And I think the Bulldogs do a similar thing in the way that they approach their footy. They love to attack and have a nice open running game. So I think the two are going to come head to head.
Could be speed kills this week, eh?
Yeah, you'll see some fast footy, that's for sure. I think we're lucky in some ways it's 15-minute quarters because I don't think any of the teams could sort of hold that for too long.
Is that what you showed us last week? Did you get what you wanted to show last week in the first game?
We did. It would have been even better to have a dry deck. I think you would have seen some more special stuff too. We put on an amazing show, but we need to clean up our work. There was some fumbling as the game wore on. We got a bit tired, and the girls have been talking about their clean skills this week and what we hope to achieve under the heat in Melbourne.
Do they deserve to be flag favourites, the Doggies?
They played a terrific game of football. They've drafted really well. They've got a great coach, they've got a great leadership group, they've got some really level-headed players, and I think it's fair to say after round 1, if you take round 1 in its isolation, that they're definitely the team to beat.
Every coach sort of comes across in this forum pretty calm, pretty straightforward. Is there a real angry streak to Coach Goddard when it needs
angry?
To come out? Or is there do you fire up when you have to?
No, I don't think so. I mean, the girls haven't been on a receiving end of a blasting from me. It's about how you communicate to get the best out of them, and I think we've got a really good relationship between the playing group and all the coaches that we don't need to do that. They want to be here. They desperately want to be here. They want to be playing good footy. They don't want to make mistakes. Nobody goes out there to fumble the footy or do a bad kick. Footy is a bit of a game of mistakes, and which team makes the fewer will win the game.
Is that sort of a thing of the past then? Because, you go back 10 years in sport, it was, you get a rocket, you sort of improve, where nowadays it seems like whether you've been here 10 years or one day, you're part of the family and it's all about encouraging and nurturing.
Absolutely, and I actually think that's the Australian way too. That's how Australians like to work, and that's why everyone likes to come for a holiday here. We're just a great, diverse, culturally different group of people that all come together with the one goal. And so the best way to do it is open communication style, not the raging finger pointing. Don't get me wrong, there might be times where that might have to happen, but I haven't seen it yet.
I assume it's hot in Melbourne tomorrow night.
Not as hot as here. So I think it's 27, dry deck, under lights. I'm hoping the girls' vision is a bit better than mine under lights. So I've got to get the binos out under the dark. I'll be eating carrots all week, so they'll be right.
Any changes to your side, which we'll get that later today?
Yeah, you'll get it later today. We will have 3 changes, and that's the nature of the competition. I think you've got to select to the team. As I say, if we had 22 rounds, 23 rounds, you might approach it a little bit differently, try and get into a bit of a routine with things, but we don't have that luxury here. So we've, as a coaching group, analysed the opposition. We think we've got the matchups right, and the girls will just concentrate on what they do best, which is attack.
Is McCormick back from soccer duties?
Yeah, thanks Canberra. Always getting some favours from home. Spoke to Ray Dower on the text this week. It wasn't great that they couldn't get to the last one, but their loss is our gain. So we're happy to have Jenna back in the team this weekend.
So where will she play?
Well, we're not going to announce what our plans are for her, Andrew. I mean, we've got to have some surprises up the sleeve, but you'll see a couple of different setups to start the game this Friday night.
She's a quality player, it's my understanding.
Quality player. Yeah. She can play forward, she can play back, she can play mid.
10,000 at Thebby cheering everyone on. How do you think the girls will react to sort of double that number cheering against them?
I think they'll do well. They get on the field, they smell the grass, get a bit of white line fever, and hopefully just listen to each other and not what the wider part around them is. They've been really level-headed this week. They got a lot of media attention. Noffy won the Rising Star, so everyone is thrilled for her. She had a great game, and we've all come back down to the one page and we're ready to go.
In a season of firsts, how hard is it to? The girls would never have the spotlight as much as they had, and is it hard to ground them and say this is a longer game?
I don't think so. I think that's the genuine nature of the group of people we've drafted. We've drafted good team people, and they've been behaving like that this week.